In this video, I'm going to show you how to turn this ugly, crusty looking webcam into something like this. Let's get into it. All right, guys, so we're here in the studio, and I actually set up the whole teleprompter and camera, all that kind of stuff, because we're recording some internal stuff, just like tutorials. So I was like, hey, let me just like show you guys how I set this up, and I'll give you like, if you click the first link down in the description, I'll give you the full like equipment list. So don't ever say I didn't do anything for you. So this by far is number one, the most efficient setup that I found for content creators and business owners, and also the most like cost effective. Touching on that really quickly, I know like a big objection that people have is like, I don't want to like drop, $2,000, $3,000, $4,000 on this stuff. But keep in mind, this one camera has made our business, over $30 million. So it's like, you invest like $6,000 to put it into content and, for Instagram, YouTube, and ads specifically, like it's insane the returns that you can get as long as you know how to use it the right way. So all that being said, I want to break down just kind of high level what this stuff is. Again, you just buy the stuff that's down in the description. But essentially what we have here is the camera is a Sony FX30. So there's really three reasons I like the Sony FX30. Number one is out of all the other Sony cameras, other than like the FX3, which is the more expensive full frame version of this camera, is there's no record limit. So some of the other Sony cameras, you record for like 30 minutes and then it just like stops recording. And then you're like, okay, I recorded 25 extra minutes and now I lost all my footage. So no recording limit. Also, you have this XLR top handle up here, which basically connects directly to the mic. So I don't have to have an external recorder, a board or anything like that. It just goes directly into the camera, one file, and you don't have to sync everything up in post. That's the second thing. The third thing is that this has internal fans on this camera. So all the other Sony cameras have a problem with overheating. And especially if you're like shooting outside and it's hot outside, like you're gonna have to stop recording and literally like blow on the camera to make sure that it doesn't overheat. So this doesn't have that. And I can sit here and record a 3-hour podcast if I wanted to. As long as I have enough internal memory, we should be good. So that's the camera, that's the top handle. The lens that I have on this is basically all creators use it, is the Sony 16 millimeter, or not, sorry, Sony, I'm sorry, the Sigma 16 millimeter 1.4, I believe is what it is. So lower number for the aperture, right? The 1.4 just gives you the blurry background. So that's that. The tripod, you just get a regular tripod, it's fine. And then the teleprompter that we have in the front is the Elgato prompter. So super like game changer. In the past, you usually would have to get like, the right monitor and put it on a teleprompter and get a different teleprompter. But Elgato has made it really simple and just put it all in one for you to connect directly to your computer. Last thing on here is the a dummy battery. This is huge, so you don't have to change out your batteries and all that kind of stuff. It literally just directly connects to a power outlet, goes directly into the computer or into the camera, and you're good to go. And then also you need like an SD card for the footage. Last thing in terms of the setup is the mic. So because I have the Elgato top handle, I could just connect the mic to this Rode. So that's a Rode pod mic, I believe. It's like $99. The arm, the mic arm is on there as well. And it just, through the XLR cable, connects directly into the camera. So we're good to go. And that's basically it in terms of all this stuff here. Okay, before we jump over here and show you that, last thing here is I have the Amaran 60D as a light. It's actually like, I think $250, so it's not bad at all. And then just like the light dome that goes in here, it gives you really like deep lighting on one side of the face, like the dramatic look, especially with the background that we have here. All right, so the one thing that I actually didn't show in the setup itself is the capture card, which is, probably the most important piece, because if you don't have the capture card, you can't get, the teleprompter view, you can't connect it directly to the computer, can't use it at Zoom, anything like that. On the table, I have what is called an A10 Mini Pro. Don't worry about that, don't get it. Just go to the sheet down in the description below, and it's actually gonna bring you to this, what you're seeing on screen right now, which is the Elgato Camlink 4K. Super intuitive, really easy to use. It literally just looks like a little USB stick. And what you're gonna do is this USB-N, it's gonna plug into, I don't know if you guys will be able to see it, but there's a little USB hub. And this thing right here is what connects to, you probably have one if you have a Mac. It basically connects to the Mac itself. And then that way you can connect, Renz, if you just throw something on screen to show what a USB hub is, I'll have the exact one that I use on that sheet as well. So basically, one side is going to go into the USB hub that goes into the computer, and then this end right here, it's going to go into, it's the HDMI, is going to go directly into the camera. So HDMI from camera into one side of this, the other side of this into your computer through the USB hub. So it should be pretty straightforward. The other thing that you're going to need to do is download a few pieces of software. So first one is going to be this one right here, or first one really is going to be this Elgato camera hub right here. This allows you to like really control the different settings when it comes to the monitor itself. And then you're also going to need the display manager. So the display manager, basically it allows you to, for whatever reason, it doesn't work unless you have the display manager. In my experience, like it didn't work out of box until I downloaded that. So make sure you download that. And then the Teleprompter app that I use is this one right here. It is literally just called Teleprompter. And I have all my scripts on here. And what you would do is you literally just go through, you can make different scripts, pretty intuitive, but the video that I'll show in a second here behind the scenes, it'll basically show how you just move everything from one screen to the other. So all pretty straightforward stuff. Like I said, I just thought I'd incorporate that in there if you do decide to get all of the equipment that we did here. So let's jump back to the behind the scenes. If you actually want to come over behind me, we can show what this looks like. So you can see here, we have the teleprompter, and then I have OBS set up right here, but let me just show, I'll pull up Zoom so you guys can see what that looks like. So we just open up Zoom, regular Zoom camera, and I'm showing up on Zoom like this, right? You're not using a crusty, webcam, like just the webcam that comes up in here. And it just showcases like how professional you are, right? Especially if you're like a creator or anything like that, like it's the offer that you're selling. So the cool thing about this is it's not just a teleprompter, but because it connects to your computer is you can actually, if I wanted to and look like I'm talking directly to the person, is I can move this as a second monitor. And now if I'm recording my own video and monitoring that, I can look directly here. Or, if there's someone else that I'm talking to, instead of like, if the camera's here and the computer's here and I'm looking here, like obviously I'm not making eye contact with the person. So now I can look directly to here and I can see, I'm talking to that person and it looks like I'm just talking to the person, right? As if I'm in person with them. So that's that. And then obviously if I wanted to, we can show, obviously the teleprompter here. And, I'm looking at this and now I just click play. And instead of having to memorize all this stuff, I can just look directly at the words in here. I'm going to say, hey, so if you're a content creator and influencer, you've probably gotten these types of spam messages in your inbox. Those are from growth operators, right? So I can just go through the script and it's so easy when you have everything on there, especially if you do content in the volume that I do. It's, you don't want to have to memorize all these scripts. So yeah, pretty straightforward and quick video for you guys. Again, all the information of the stuff that I use in this video will be down in the description below and you guys can check that out.